The nervous system is made up of three components: the brain, the spinal cord, and the peripheral nerves. Each of these components is made up of neurons, which are special cells that communicate with each other. Electricity travels down all the nerves to send signals from your brain to the tips of them to tell your body what to do in certain situations. There are three types of nervous systems: the sensory, the voluntary, and the autonomic. When you smell an object, air particles come off of the object and fit into one receptor inside your nose. Each particle only fits with one receptor, so therefore each object has a specific smell. Then the information travels up the olfactory nerve and gives the information to your brain. When you chew something, saliva covers it and moves it on your tongue into the papillae, which are the small bumps that are on your tongue. Inside each of these bumps are taste buds. The flavor of the food is detected inside of the taste buds, and it is then brought to the brain. People used to think that because of the different shapes of the papillae there was a taste bud map, but this is not true. The five flavors, sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami, are tasted all over the tongue. Light waves travel into the eye. They first go through the cornea, then the pupil, then the lens. This image is projected upside down onto your retina. Then the information travels to the brain, and the brain turns the image right side up. When you hear something, sound waves go into your ear. First they go through the outer ear, then the middle ear, and then to the inner ear where the cochlea is, and the information travels on the auditory nerve to the brain. Inside of the dermis, or the second layer of your skin, there are nerve endings. Each nerve ending senses heat and pressure. Let's say you were to step on a thumbtack. Your body would react by pulling sharply away. The brain sends messages on the nerves so that this is possible. There are two parts to the skeleton, the axial and the appendicular. The axial is made up of the skull, ribs, and spine. The appendicular is made up of the limbs. The skeleton is made up of bones. The outer shell is called compact bone and is very heavy, and the inside is the spongy bone, and it houses the marrow, which produces red blood cells. The ball and socket joint allows for circular movement in places such as the elbow, neck, hips, ankles, and wrists. The hinge joint allows parts of your body to bend. The muscular system is made up of muscles that contract and relax to move the bones at the joints. These muscles are called voluntary muscles because they are controlled by the voluntary nervous system. The brain gives the commands to coordinate the muscles and control movements, and the information is sent on the nerves. is different from what the autonomic nervous system controls. Food fuels the body, and the digestive system processes the food. Food enters your body through your mouth, and an enzyme called amylase, which is found in saliva, starts to break it down. Food travels from the mouth to the pharynx or throat to the esophagus, which is a tube that has muscle contractions called peristalsis to move the food to the stomach. A sphincter at the top of the stomach opens to let the food in, then closes to keep the food in there while it mashes the food. Stomach acids also help break down the food. The food then travels to the duodenum, or the first part of the small intestine, then through the jejunum, then the ileum, which leads to the large intestine. Inside of the small intestine, villi absorb nutrients. Food continues to be broken down by enzymes from the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder. The cecum joins the small intestine to the large intestine. The colon absorbs water and salt and moves everything that wasn't digested to the rectum, where the feces are held until they are expelled through the anus. This is called excretion. The urinary system filters blood and removes the waste from it. The blood travels into the kidneys, which have many nephrons in them, which filter the blood and remove the waste from them. The waste then travels in two tubes called ureters from the kidneys to the bladder. The waste is then held in the bladder and it is expelled from the body through the urethra in liquid form.